The next pricing objection is somebody who says, and usually it could be somebody who doesn't think they have the equity to sell, but they want to move. But anyway, they say, we're just going to rent it out for now. So
it might be somebody who's under the gun that's already bought another house.
That's right.
It didn't work out as expected. They now have that trailer house and they're starting to panic from the 2 payments. There's a lot of different environments in which this is true.
That's true. One question you might ask to start out is to say, well, was it your original intention to rent the house, or did you really want to sell it? Just make sure what you're dealing with. Maybe they wanted to rent it. Maybe they bought it as an investment property, and you don't want to argue with them if that's what they really want to do.
Have you ever been a landlord before? And use the word landlord, okay? Because it's a tough job, especially for novices or lay people that have no experience in our industry. There's a lot involved, and there's a lot of bookkeeping involved. There's a lot of responsibilities. 80% of all fair housing complaints come in that environment. It's not an easy job. It's we're a very heavily regulated industry for a reason. Home ownership is an important part of our society and our cultural fabric. So this is important too. When you're talking to them on the phone about this, just do some kind of what we call apples and oranges close, where you would go and say, well, you know, it may very well be in your best interest to rent it out, but I'd like an opportunity to sit down with you, do a free competitive market analysis, see what you might be able to accomplish in selling your home before you make a final decision. Compare apples and oranges. You may decide based on that you want to rent it out and it's a great decision, but you might reconsider when you take a look at the data.
In the home, you might want to mention how a lot of rental properties wind up, which is, you know, damage beyond the normal wear and tear. Talk about the eviction process. It is a lengthy process, and in the meantime, you're not making any income. If you really want to rent your home, I would definitely recommend having a professional property management company handling things. They can screen the clients, make sure that they're somebody who doesn't have a history of damaging property, make sure there's somebody who pays their rent on time, and all of that. So, you know, I think once people hear about everything that's involved in actually renting the property, a lot of times if they're on the fence, they just would prefer to sell it. And especially if you can show them that how you will get them top dollar for the home.
For people who have never done this before or are doing onesies and twosies, it's almost always a bad idea, okay, especially if they're doing it themselves. So again, the facts are on your side in most instances. Get in there and explain to them some of the pluses and the minuses of this environment and see if there's something you can do for them. If there isn't, that's okay. You've made a friend, you've taken some time for somebody, and you've gotten them through a process and hopefully created an environment where they can at least make a fully informed decision before they move forward. And we need all the friends we can get. So I valued these appointments even when they didn't result in any immediate business. It's a great way to build a personal community, is to take time for people that are in these kinds of situations.